All right, let's be honest for a second. Have you ever looked around a room and just thought, am I surrounded by idiots? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're digging into a book with that exact title. It's a super provocative name, right? But it totally nails that feeling we all get when a conversation just goes off the rails.
Yeah, that's the one. It perfectly captures that moment of complete frustration when you're trying to explain something and the other person is just not getting it. It's like you're speaking two totally different languages.
So, let's just put the question out there. Why does it feel like that sometimes? You know, when you're talking to your boss or your partner or your friends and it feels like your words are just hitting a brick wall. What is going on? Is everyone else crazy? Or, wait, is it me?
The author, Thomas Erikson, kicks things off with this brilliant story. He meets this CEO, a guy named Stuer, who is just at his wit's end. This guy is convinced, I mean totally convinced, that his entire company is staffed by, and I'm quoting here, complete idiots.
But here's the kicker, the big aha moment. Erikson realized that Stuer's definition of an idiot was, well, it was anyone who wasn't Stuer. Anyone who didn't process information like him or make decisions like him. And that single idea, that right there, is what this whole framework is built on.
So let's get into the good stuff. The book's whole argument is that it's not about idiocy. It's about different operating systems, different programming. And it gives us this super simple but powerful tool to understand it all, the 4-color communication code.
Okay, so this grid you're seeing, this is basically the treasure map to understanding people. The whole system breaks down human behavior into 4 fundamental types, and each one gets a color. Simple as that.
And here's how it works. You've got 2 main lines. The up and down one goes from being focused on tasks to being focused on relationships. The side-to-side one goes from extroverted to introverted. Where you land on this map kind of determines your primary color.
So, you ready? Let's meet the 4 personalities that live in these quadrants: red, yellow, green, and blue. First up, let's go to the top right corner. This is where you find the extroverted, task-oriented folks. We're talking about the drivers. This is red behavior.
Think of your classic type A personality. Reds are all about ambition, they make decisions in a snap, and they have this laser focus on the goal. They're natural-born leaders who are always pushing for results, and they really, really value their independence.
And yeah, this pretty much sums it up. There's no waffling around, they see the fastest way from A to B, and they expect everyone to just get on board like yesterday.
Okay, now let's pop down to the bottom right. Still extroverted, but now we're relationship-oriented. These are the inspirers, the yellows. You know that person who's the life of the party? Probably a yellow. They're super talkative, endlessly optimistic, and just bubbling with creative energy. They get their fuel from being around people and bring this amazing, infectious vibe to everything. This is the yellow battle cry. They're drawn to anything new and exciting, and they'll jump in with both feet, usually running on pure enthusiasm and a gut feeling. All right, let's cross over to the bottom left. Now we're in introverted and relationship-oriented territory. Here we find the supporters, or the greens. And get this, according to the book, this is the most common personality type out there. Greens are basically the glue that holds everything and everyone together. They're so patient, super reliable, and fiercely loyal. They're amazing listeners because they genuinely care about harmony and making sure everyone feels stable and secure. This is classic green. They really don't like sudden changes. They need a minute to process things and prefer a steady, predictable pace where the whole team feels safe and on the same page.
And last but not least, let's head up to the top left. Introverted and task-oriented. These are the analysts, the blues.
For a blue, things just have to be right. They are incredibly systematic, analytical, and detail-oriented. Quality and accuracy are everything to them. They need the facts, the data, and plenty of time to think things through before they'll give you an answer. Oh yeah, if you ever state a fact in a meeting that's just a tiny bit off, you can bet the blue in the room has noticed, and they're just waiting for the most polite moment to correct you. For them, the details are what matter most. Okay, so this is cool and all, but what do you do with this information? How does knowing the colors actually help you stop wanting to pull your hair out in conversations? It's all about adapting your style. If you're talking to a red, just get to the point. No small talk. For a yellow, bring the energy and focus on the exciting big picture stuff. With a green, you got to slow down, be patient, and make them feel secure. And if you're talking to a blue, you better have your facts straight, down to the last detail.
And that's really the heart of it all. That frustration you've been feeling, it's not because everyone else is an idiot. It's because you're surrounded by different colors, and you've been trying to speak blue to a yellow or maybe red to a green. It just doesn't compute.
But here's the final twist. Nobody is just one pure color. We're all a mix, a unique blend. So the real question the book leaves you with is this. Now that you can start to see these colors in other people, can you see them in yourself? What's your dominant color? What's your own personal blend?